Here's some sobering statistics, folks, about dangerous criminals continuously finding new victims out there. Take a look at this graphic here. In just 1 week, APD officers reported arresting 20 repeat offenders, which had a total of 553 previous arrests and 114 felony convictions. And today, folks, we learned that 1,000 people are responsible for 40% of the crimes committed in Atlanta.
So what can be done to break this cycle and keep you safe? Hope Forward bringing us solutions.
Well, Atlanta police now have a repeat offender unit with officers dedicated to finding those people who keep committing crimes. So while they're handling that part, what stops offenders from doing the same thing once they're released? To find out, I look to some neighbors a little to the north.
Arrest, convict, repeat. How does Atlanta and Georgia stop this from happening? Is it longer prison sentences? Maybe, but activists like Devin Barrington Ward believe it also may be what happens inside prisons.
It's just a system that holds people in cages for a period of time, but it doesn't correct the behavior.
Research shows people with drug and alcohol addictions reoffend more often. And looking at some of the arrest records from repeat offenders in Atlanta, you see a common problem. Research shows programs inside prisons that help offenders get job training, housing, mental and substance abuse help before their release reduce the likelihood they'll commit crimes again.
Well, that doesn't make sense to send them back to the same system that hasn't corrected the behavior that has caused the criminality in the first place.
Let's look at the recidivism rates in the country. Those rates are calculated by the percentage of people reconvicted within 3 years of release. Georgia's recidivism rate is 30%, about average for the country. But look at Virginia and South Carolina. They have the lowest in the country, 23.1%. How? Both states heavily rely on in-prison re-entry programs. After South Carolina changed and implemented their re-entry program in 2018, their recidivism rate dropped for the first time in 20 years.
If we are convicting folks and incarcerating them to the same system that's sending them back to our communities in the first place without addressing the need of rehabilitation services, mental health, and all of the other things that put people at the margin, then it's really just a revolving door.
And here's the other part to this. If a child is in the criminal justice system before they're 21, they're more likely to reoffend because of a lack of education, job options, and housing. So those programs become incredibly important if they're convicted and sent to prison.